What's up, everybody? GiantKiller here, bringing you the very first episode of the 2P Press Start Top 5 Hearthstone Plays of the Week. Stay tuned after the plays to learn how you can submit your own videos and plays, and hopefully if we can make this a success, eventually we'll be able to get some prizes to give away to our best clip submission each week. So without further ado, let's get right into the action. Starting out at number 5, we've got Husky playing Warlock against Solid Hatchet the Mage, and Husky's found himself falling behind and down to 10 life, which is just never a good spot to be in against a mage. But as it turns out, Husky's just been playing dead like a sea snake and waiting for his time to strike. That's right, Gladiator reference. That just happened. Anyhow, on turn 7, he moves in for the kill, dropping 2 Power Overwhelmings on his Dread Infernal, bringing it up to a massive 14-14, and then dropping our old pal Leroy Jenkins. And they charge in together for a combined 20 damage, followed up by a Soul Fired straight to the face for 4 damage to secure the kill. Alright, coming in at number 4, we've got Force playing Rogue against Caballera on Mage. It's do or die time for Force as he's finding himself under 10 life with turn 8 coming up for his mage opponent. That means chances are good Force is about to die to a Pyroblast next turn if he doesn't finish off Caballera right now. He's got to do 17 damage and he's only got 7 left off the board after Caballera froze his Drake with an Ice Lance last turn. Force has a lot of options in his hand, but only one combination that adds up to the 17 fatal damage he needs. Force is going to start out here by dropping a Blood Mage Thalnos. That's going to boost his total spell damage up to +2. That's going to let him pop a comboed Eviscerate for 6 damage straight to the face, followed up by a comboed Perdition's Blade Battle Cry for 2 more damage. Next he's going to swing in with the blade itself for 2 damage, and follow up with the onboard critters for the last 7 damage and the kill. No Pyroblast for Force today. At number 3 this week, we've got Ribbo from Caravel Gaming running a Druid against Cooler on a Rogue. Now, Cooler's put together a significant onboard advantage, and Ribbo finds himself well behind on life. To make matters worse, Cooler silenced Ribbo's Druid with a Spellbreaker last turn to get rid of its taunt. Unless Ribbo has an answer, he could potentially be facing lethal damage next turn from Cooler's minions and his weapon. Luckily, he's got a wild Pyromancer in hand who's ready to take one for the team by lighting absolutely everything on fire. Ribbo starts up the combo by dropping the Pyromancer, then follows up by coining to get the mana he'll need for the Starfall. The coin, which counts as a spell, triggers the Pyromancer for the first time, dealing 1 damage to everything. Ribbo then fires off the AoE version of Starfall, doing 2 more damage to each and every one of Cooler's minions. And that triggers the second and final Pyromancer proc, which deals the last point of damage to completely wipe Cooler's board for an epic turnaround. Pyromancer, your sacrifice will not be forgotten. This week's number 2 clip comes from Trump. Trump's running his Warrior Arena deck against a Druid whose name I have no idea how to pronounce. Trump finds himself low on life and staring down a turn 9 Onyxia on an empty board, meaning he's got to deal with an 8-8 and 6 1-1 whelps. He's going to have to at least take out Onyxia if he wants to survive the following turn. Without an answer in hand, he's going to have to try to maximize Battle Rage and hope he can pull an answer out of his deck. First, he smacks one of the whelps with the Taskmaster in order to damage the Taskmaster and bring the total draw on his Battle Rage up to 3. Next up, casting Battle Rage brings Trump exactly the cards he'll need to dig himself out of this hole. A Warsong Commander to give his other minions charge, and a Raging Worgen to go crazy and tear shit up. He drops the Commander and the Worgen, smacking the whelp with the Worgen to make it nice and enraged. He then suicides the Worgen and Harvest Golem into Onyxia, finishing off the Daughter of Deathwing with a broken Golem he gets from the Harvest Golem's Death Rattle effect. Smacking down one last whelp with his Fiery War Axe is going to put the icing on this fantastic play. And for our number 1 clip of the week, we've got Elohim on Mage in dire straits on what will almost certainly be his last chance to pull out a win against Ithran the Priest. Elohim's been stalling for time with ice blocks, but time is running out and he's out of ice blocks, down to 1 life, and down to 1 card left in his deck after drawing Blood Mage Thalnos this turn. He knows he's got to do 14 damage this turn because even if he freezes all of Ithran's minions, he could easily die to a Holy Smite, Holy Nova, Holy Fire, pretty much anything holy next turn. In this scenario, mana turns out to be the limiting factor as he's got more than enough damage in hand, but just not enough mana to play at all. With Pyroblast and Frostbolt falling just short at 13 damage, he knows he needs his second Ice Lance and some spell damage to do the trick. He also knows that Ice Lance is the only card left in his deck. So Elohim drops Blood Mage Thalnos and then kills his own Blood Mage with a Fire Blast to draw his last card. He then puts down a Kobold Geomancer to provide the necessary spell damage for the combo and starts throwing snowballs. Frostbolt for 4, followed by 2 Ice Lances for 5 damage apiece, combined to finish off Ithran with exactly enough damage to secure the kill. And for you min-maxers in the audience, you'll notice he could have pulled 16 damage out of the combo if he'd kept the Blood Mage around for the first 2 casts, but he picks up style points for exact damage. And finally, in our honorable mention play of the week, we've got ECAP running Priest and showing us exactly why Rammus is still OP even when we're not playing League. On turn 4, ECAP's got an Oasis Snapjaw in play and a brutal combo of Divine Spirit and Inner Fire in hand. He decides to cast Mind Vision and watch his reaction when he pulls a second Divine Spirit out of his opponent's hand. Well, he could start pumping up the Snapjaw right now. He doesn't have enough mana for the full combo and decides to wait until next turn in case his opponent is packing a Shadow Word Death. Now, his opponent decides to spare the seemingly non-threatening Snapjaw, and on turn 5, ECAP politely apologizes for the shell-shocking play he's about to make. ECAP drops the first Divine Spirit, bringing the Snapjaw to 214, then another, making it 228, and finally, Inner Fire, making it a Tokyo-smashing 28-28 and swinging in for 28 points of damage to the face, scoring an out-of-nowhere win because he possessed Turtle Power. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for our first episode of the Top 5 Hearthstone Plays of the Week. If you liked what you saw, please help us grow our channel by clicking like and subscribe. If you'd like to submit or suggest a play for our next episode, head on over to 2ppressstart.com and click on the Submit a Play link for instructions on how to do it. We'd love to start giving out prizes every week to our best submissions, so help us help you by leaving feedback, telling your friends about our project, and submitting some amazing plays. Thanks for watching.